If you're lucky enough to live in zones 6 through 10, then you can grow saffron. And why wouldn't we want to grow the most expensive spice in the world in our own very backyard? You can also grow it in a pot if you choose to do so, but I happen to have a 3x3 raised bed here that is surrounding my well pump. So why not make a good use of it and have it grow something special? But before I get started, I dug it out so that it's at the 4 or 5 inch depth that I want to plant the saffrons, and I've amended the soil with some perlite because it really needs to be very well draining soil. If it isn't well draining, you could run the risk of your corms rotting, and we don't want that to happen. But another thing I'm going to do is I dug it down deep because you'll see I cut this out. I'm going to put this in the bottom before I put the corms in because I've been having a battle with the chipmunks and they've been eating my corms. They must be delicious because I plant them, they eat them, I plant them again, they eat them. And so now I'm going to get smarter than them, and I'm going to create a barrier on the bottom as well as create a barrier on the top so that they can't get to the corms. So that's why I had to dig out this bed so that I could get this barrier in here, and then we're going to plant the corm. See the flat side? You can see some roots are starting. I'm going to put a little soil on this first just to kind of keep it flat. Then I'll set the corm on it because this weld wire, the holes are big enough where the roots can get through, but then also, because I'm going to put a top layer on too to keep them from digging downward, that the flowers and the leaves can go on top. So let's get some dirt in here. I've also amended this a little bit with perlite. If you're So we have a bunch of corms here, and we want to make sure we plant the flat side down. There's a flat side. And I don't have to dig down 4 or 5 inches because I'm going to be filling this up and, gently so I don't move the corms, but I'm going to be planting them 4 inches apart. And the other thing everyone needs to understand is that everyone thinks of crocus as a early spring bulb, one of the first flowers that we see in spring. But for crocus, we don't plant them in the fall for spring blooming. We plant them now. So if you're in zone 6 through 8, mid-August is the time to plant. If you're in zone 8 through 10 or 9 and 10, you want to plant them in September so that the roots have a chance to develop and the flowers form before the frost, before the ground freezes. And so we're going to be harvesting these in probably about 60 days. And so I have a whole bunch of corms here. And another reason why we want to plant them 4 inches apart is because the corms in time are going to have little babies. They have little cormlets that pop out on the side. So in about 2 or 3 years from now, we're probably going to dig them up and separate them. And then that's how you get free saffron bulbs without having to keep buying more, because you're going to separate them and they're going to do really well. So another thing is, us gardeners, we always want to make sure our stuff is watered. And this is Crocus savitus. And this is a desert plant. So during its dormant phase, which is the summertime, we don't want to keep watering it because then you can end up rotting the roots as well. And we don't want that to happen. And because we have to think of it like a desert plant that it is and make sure that we're creating that environment that it enjoys so that it grows really well. And that's why it's important to understand whatever you're planting, what its habitat and life cycle is like, so that you can encourage it and have the best possible results. So we're just about done getting them all in. Another thing I want to show you, when you think about bulbs like garlic or other flowering bulbs, it has a papery shell around it. But this is more like a husk. has a husk around it. It's thicker. And so you want to keep all of that on. You don't want to take any of it off. And then you want to make sure that you plant everything the way it needs to be planted. So we're just about done here. So I have 40 bulbs in this bed. So if every flower gives off 3 stamens, 3 times 40, that's 120 stamens that I could possibly collect in the first year. Now, sometimes a corm will have more than 1 flower, especially if they have the cormlets that are growing on the side. That's kind of an indicator too that, you know, you have the cormlets on the side. So now we're going to gently cover these, and then I'll show you the second barrier that I'm going to put on. So let's get working. Before I cover completely, I want you to see the spacing of the corms. So see, they're about 4 inches apart. Okay, we have the bed pretty much filled up and all of the corms are covered. Now I have to put my second layer of protection on, and that's another screen that I cut out. You might think that this is a little extravagant, but you know, when you're dealing with the most expensive spice in the world, you want to protect it. So another thing that I wanted to mention is that you pick the right spot. You want at least 6 hours of sunlight on the bed where you're planting the corms, even in the autumn. So you know how the sun shifts and it gets lower, you know, as winter comes. So be mindful of that and make sure that even in the autumn, you're getting 6 hours of sun on your bed. So now that we have the second layer of protection, now I'm going to cover this so that obviously it's aesthetically pleasing. I'm not looking at the well wire, and then the leaves and the flowers will be able to pop up through the well wire, but at the same time I'm protecting it from the dreaded chipmunk who keeps eating them. So you see I have the bed full. So then when your flowers open, they open for a short period of time. The best time to pick the threads is in the morning, right after the dew dries. That's when they'll be at their best. If you wait till later in the day and they start wilting a little bit, it'll be harder to harvest those saffron threads. So I hope I've taken the mystery out of saffron and planting saffron. And when it's time for harvest, I will do another video and show you how to harvest the saffron. So keep on farming, everyone. We'll see you next time.